quick release. Pretty deep, pretty steep, night entry. Pretty steep, night entry. Slow down. Woo-wee. Right. Oh, God. Hey, buddy. Hey. Here you go. Here, buddy. Yeah, there you go. Came right over to hang out. I was eating some popcorn, so I thought I'd give him a little piece of popcorn. There you go. Look. He just sits up on the little perch. He's eyeballing the bag. He's like, I see the bag. I want the bag. Secure the bag. Cheesy poof. Cheesy poof. Here we go. We got the compound bow. We got a loop. We got a quick release. Because when you release the bow, if you release one finger before the other, completely throw off your arrow and your trajectory. So let's go ahead and put this on. There we go. Now I get to just pull the trigger right here, and that trigger will automatically release this bow, light an arrow. I'm gonna do it pretty close. A little to the left. All right, Let's get this thing zoned in and see if we can hit that bullseye again. All right, we gotta get that cheek closer. There we go. Ooh, right in the bullseye, baby. That's all I had to do. Just look through the viewfinder. Look at that. Would you just look at it? Of it. You'd also get feet. This looks about like 25, maybe. Let's see. 40. Approximately 40 to 41 feet. Have to know your feet in order to know where to adjust your aim. So if it's adjusted, just 40 feet, stand in the same spot. There we go. Okay. Got a little bit higher. Let's try that out now. Oh, okay. So 40 feet away. Look at this grouping. Look at this grouping. That's what you have. That's some consistent grouping right there. If I do say so myself. Would you just look at it? Look at that. Look at that shot. So I'm going to show you my favorite way of cutting up a bell pepper. There's a million different ways to do it. Some people cut them in half. I just simply make an incision and then I roll it around the core. And I try to get all the pits out. The pit is the white. And I just simply roll the item. And then if it gets too long, cut it off. Continue your little rolling until you get all the flesh, right? So we got 2 big pieces of flesh, a little bit of core here, but hey, that's super easy to just take out. Sometimes we can't get it all, sometimes we can. So take it out. We got 2 beautiful pieces, and then I know we still got some leftovers I do not like to waste. So I just cut that bottom off. And for this is for a little breakfast scramble. I would like to kind of julienne, and what julienne is long little sticks. And you want to just move your knife this way. You always want to rock it. If your knife's not moving, your knife is not cutting. Since it is cut them in cubes like this, nice little smaller cubes. Those are pretty thick potato. I just like to cut up my potato for the thickness of the cubes that I'm trying to accomplish. So make sure I don't drop them. Ooh, good catch. And then now, get the flat sides down is what I try to do. And we got the flat sides down. Then I try to make us a couple cross sections, put them stand together. Get a couple fries like that. Boom, we just cube them up. Then we got beautifully even cut potatoes. And the reason why you want all these even, of course, so they can cook all at the same time. I'm going to dice these onions, so I'm just going to cut into it. So I'm going to cut in diagonally like this, and then what that does, it allows us to bi-directionally cut them as well. And as you can see, we can also finish cutting them up like this, and we get a lot of little cool cubes of onions. Look at that cut. Beautiful cut of onions. Then we're going to go over here, and in our pot, let's see all this fat rendering down. All this good fat is going to flavor our potatoes. Now is a perfect time to throw in said potatoes. Potatoes do take. And then we have all of our ingredients really easy campground meal. We have our chorizo, we have our potatoes, we have our onions, and our bell peppers, and most importantly, our seasoning. And we're just going to mix this up. We want to let this cook over the fire until everything comes together and completes. And so I'm going to be cooking this until the potatoes are basically fork tender, or how the potatoes that I like. And then we're going to throw some cheese in there and put these bad boys on some tortillas. But I forgot eggs. We got to throw the eggs in there. So after the potatoes get done, what I'm going to do is throw some eggs in there, just crack them in, or I can pre-scramble them and then throw the eggs since they only take a few minutes to cook. We'll have them cook down, and after that, little cheese, then throw them on the tortillas. So let's cook this up and we'll show you what it looks like. Let's see how we're looking. Yeah, we're ready. We are ready for the eggs and cheese, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking delicious. Our potatoes are definitely fork tender. I already tried one. As you see, the onions cook down, everything cooked down really well. The chorizo is still tender, adding a lot of flavor. I think we'll do about 4. Season our eggs. A lot of people think, hey, I already seasoned the thing. I like to season each layer. So let's do a little bit of salt and pepper and a little bit of wood-fired garlic seasoning. Just toss that on top of your eggs. Not too much, just enough to make sure the eggs are flavored. And then let's go ahead, slap some good cheese in here. We got some pepper jack. I like to live on the spicy side. Just put those in there. And then what we'll do, I'll just break up the eggs while they're in there. Same thing with the cheese. Just try to cut them on up, and then we just stir and incorporate. There we go. I like to cook my eggs, but I don't like to cook them all the way. I like to cook them just enough. And this is one of my favorite meals to cook over the campfire, because that campfire sure does add a lot of that smoke flavor. All right, here we go. This is the level that I like to cook it to. Looking nice and cheesy. And then we have this other fire going, because I want to just toss some tortillas on there, get those things nice and warm, ready to go. And then we're going to assemble them here in a second. We're going to assemble some. We got some hot sauce, we got some avocado, and most importantly, all right, so now we're going to plate up. And then we're going to pick some fresh cilantro. And I like to just tear mine up, bruise it up a little bit. That releases a little bit more of the flavor. Instead of just placing them on there, you just, bruise them up, sprinkle them on. And the stems have a lot of flavor in them, so don't be afraid of the stems. That's where most of the cilantro flavor comes from. There we go. Then I'll just take a couple of slices of avocado. There we go. Yep. And then your hot sauce of choice. I'm going to try some green pepper, some verde. There we go. Then that's our meal. Thank you for joining. We're about to have some good food. Ooh, we got storms of ruin. It's about to get wet. Good morning, beautiful people. We are about to head out. Had a big rainstorm yesterday, and we're going to go on the hunt for a little bit more leaf foliage. So now we're heading up to the lake. We stopped at that place because that's the place that we had the location to, Plus, we showed up at 1 in the morning, as you probably already seen, in the pitch dark to do that crazy ride, or that crazy entrance. This one. They got a cool camp. Yeah, this is nice. Steamboat, about to get some gas, and look at this. I couldn't have planned this any closer, right? You throw that there, man, that's close.